So as promised, like right just now we had a lesson together. So our next portion will be about world map. So just now we covered on the regional map. You can see how the importance of north, south, east, west. You can see the importance of knowing the names of places because you can refer to it like how many kilometers away. The use of the scale and percentage coverage. So I haven't marked your time practice yet. Hopefully I get to see some use of that evidence. But let's move on to talk about world map, where other things may fall more relevant. Things such as continents, latitudes. That makes a bit more sense in the context of a world map. So let's see. We're starting off with the first question here. 2017 question 5A, standard. As we go through this, can I please have your tenure series open? Turn to this page. Annotations take place on your tenure series itself. Okay, the time practice is not going to be this question now, obviously. Okay, I'm going to go through two questions, 5A part 1 and part 2. Then after that, you got your own practice after that. Alright? First question, describe the distribution of the major four mountains. We go through the 6 questions for you to think about when you are answering an exam question. Common word, describe. Right? Then what topic or content? In this case is talking about plate tectonics, 4 mountains. But if you take a look at the question specifically, describe the distribution. Do you need to explain the formation? No. Do you need any content knowledge? No. So content not relevant here. Okay, then after that, what's the scope of the topic? So they're looking out for the distribution. So there are patterns for you to look out for. Then what is the, what you call it just now? Do you need evidence? Obviously. And this is the important part that I want to highlight to you. You can see here, right? This is a map of the continental, the 4 mountain. This is the plate boundary map. This question is only saying figure 5. Can you use plate boundary? No. Okay, they're only asking for figure 5. Okay, specifically where you find for 4 mountains. Okay, so total 3 marks. So I'm looking out for either 3 patterns or any anomaly that result in total of 3 points. Okay, so let's take a look at the next part of it. Okay, can you bring in plate boundary? I put yes. Okay, actually it should be the not exclusively is more important. Okay, the markers report the comment from Cambridge for this question is students who are weaker are the ones who bring in plate boundary to say that 4 mountains are at convergent plate boundary. In theory, it's true. You're not wrong, right? But it didn't accept because the question says only figure 5. Okay, I shared this once before. Geography paper, geography questions, the marking is super pedantic. They look at every single word of the question to determine whether you can get or cannot get the mark. Okay, so then how do you describe distribution of 4 mountain without the use of plate boundary? You learned this before. You see the world map, you already can see continents. You already can see north, south, east, west. See? So what are the main patterns you can see? Here got one pattern. Here got one pattern. Right? So how do you describe this? Remember, we're using descriptive term. Command word literally is describe. Right? So command words, you can see that they are existing as a line, right? So things like linear, things like as a belt, things like along. Okay, these are the kind of things that help to showcase that it is existing as one line. Okay, you need the analysis word. So one example, you can see here, linear, along, west coast of North and South America. This literally is 1 point. Easy, right? It's literally just telling me where you can find it. That's what they are asking for. Then second, there's another belt stretching from south of Europe towards Southeast Asia. This is one more belt of 4 mountain. Yeah? Then here 2 marks. Then how to get the third mark? Again, anomaly. So you got 2 distinct patterns, right? So there's one cluster here that is not linear. So the cluster at Northeast Asia. Okay, so this is generally how you describe. Easy, right? Okay, remember that time during your TA practice as well, I gave you, that one was a regional map. Okay, like I said to those consulting, right, I already went through this with you. I still want to recap one more time. Certain things where you don't need to explain, don't bother. Just take a look, see what pattern is there, just write about them. Okay, so this is where the 3 marks go to. And in particular, okay, so this is the answer here. So you can pause here for you to see how it's written, right? Okay, next one. Wait, don't have Marcus report. There you go. See? So weaker response focus on figure 6, meaning they're talking about the plate boundary. The better ones rather than figure 5. So evidence shown in figure 5. West coast of the Americas. Or you don't say North and South America, the Americas. So later, this is the first instance where they actually give sample responses. So they are looking for it. You can see, right, there is something in common between this and the regional map. When we look at the report given by Cambridge, they genuinely are looking for people to be able to see north, south, east, west, right? And the specific location of it, America, or just now was like Mogadishu and stuff like that. So they want specific names. Okay? This one don't you plan with your friend, because my plan changed, right? Because I wanted you guys to plan with your friend, but since I'm recording. So now with the help of figure 5 and 6 and your own knowledge, explain the formation of 4 mountains. Again, let's take a look at the command words. First, 5 questions, right? First one, explain. Second one, 4 mountain. That's the topic that they're asking about. Specifically, formation. Okay, you need evidence, 5 and 6, right? 5 obviously is where the 4 mountains are. 6, what evidence can you give me? Divergent or convergent, name of plates. So definitely they will be looking out for that. Okay, then 5 marks worth, right? Including your own knowledge, because the process is not here. So obviously you need your own knowledge to be able to explain. Okay, 5 marks worth. 4 mountain got a lot of points to write, man. Right? Convection current in the mantle push the crust together. Continental crust push together, compression force, buckle and fold upwards. That's 2 things here. Right? Maybe at most you can add in 1 more to talk about anticline and syncline. But again, these are explanation. You see, none of it made reference to the source at all. So how do I use the source to explain and somehow come out with 2 more points? Okay, I don't know whether you managed to figure it out. The 2 points would be, in this case, OC convergent and CC convergent. Alright, as long as you're able to explain in the context of these 2, they will be the separate marks. So here will be 2 continental crusts converge, context of Indian plate and Eurasian plate. This side would be oceanic and North American plate, oceanic and continental crust converging. What's the new concept to bring up? Because you cannot just say the exact same thing that's converging, right? So already within your first point. The concept for you to bring up is the fact that there's subduction. Subduction, so when it subducts, this thing gets pushed against a wall of oceanic crust. Here is just push towards each other, right? Nothing to break or anything, right? Push and then go up. Here is it push against a wall of the oceanic crust, then it go up. So this is how the separate marks are given. Okay, let's take a look at the sample here. Okay, let's take a look at the comment first. Okay, stronger responses talk about convergence, talk about buckling. Important, 1 or 2 exemplars. So they literally want examples for you to talk about. Okay, weaker ones don't have reference to the map, don't have reference to the uplifting to create mountain, and they talk about irrelevant things such as the issue of plates and the issue of subduction, meaning they over focus on the concept of subduction, which is not needed in this case. Remember, the 4 mountain comes together with the subduction, right? The OC convergent. What is important? The buckling. It subduct, so you push against the subducted crust. Please don't tell me after the subduction of the oceanic one, you're going to say melted crust lah, then after that rise as lava and da 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 da. All that, please don't bother. This is not a volcano question. Okay, let's take a look at the example here. 4 mountains found at convergent plate boundary. The concept, convection current pushing the plates together. CC convergent between Indian and Eurasian plate. Good if you can also bring up what's the name of this mountain. Anybody can remember? Before I give you the answer, Himalayas. Okay, there the crust resists subduction because it's not dense. So the compression causes it to buckle and fold up. Okay, western coastline, South American plate bordering on the Pacific Ocean. This one, the name of the mountain is the Andes and the Rockies. Andes is in North America, Rockies is in the South America. Rockies in North America, Andes is in the South America. Okay, you don't remember the names, it's fine, as long as you're able to give me evidence from there. Okay, then how to talk about the process because it's similar. It's still about compress and fold upwards, right? It's talking about the fact that the Pacific crust subducts, so North American plate is compressed towards it, then it folds up. Okay, so these are where the 5 points will come across for you to be able to get the mark. So this is a very short video. Yeah, hopefully this gives you an idea. The important one is to bring up the context of continents if it's relevant. Don't bring up the concept of plate boundary unless needed, especially if the question specifies figure 5 only, the previous one. Alright, then what else do you talk about? When it comes to describing, you need certain terms: clustered, spread out, or in this case, linear. Okay, and last point, when it comes to explaining, if they're using the map, you need to explain in the using evidence from the map, whether it be the context, alright, in this case OCCC, or the name of the plate, but you need to elaborate with relevant concept, which in this case is subduction, so there's a compression that can take place because of it. Okay, that's all I have for this video. So what's going to happen for you, your time practice is going to be about 2017 question 6A. There's 2 parts to it, total 16 minutes. So as you write on foolscap paper, when you pass to me, I want to see your written one with the time. So like you put your name, index number and class, right? Then 2017 question 6A, start time, end time. Okay, by all means, please revise first before you go. Please revise first before you begin. But once you begin, make sure it's timed. Alright, all the best for this. Have a good weekend, guys.